Mike Doyle, if you'll please come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Just a preface for council's information, we've had it's a tradition here in Monroeville and for the public that our insurance carrier comes up and gives a presentation on the quotes for our property and casualty, workers' compensation, insurance, and Mike Doyle is here for that.
Thank you, Mr. Little.
Excuse me just a second. Tim, do we have the spreadsheet, a spreadsheet?
Yeah, I believe Mike.
I set him in front of everybody's microphone.
Be at your station.
I have extras
Oh,
if you
okay.
need them.
Okay. Thank you.
Looks like this. Yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody on council, the mayor, Mr. Sedlak, and Mr. Little for their confidence and help. I'm really excited to give you this presentation this evening. I've had several meetings with Mr. Little, Mr. Sedlak, over the last couple months, and my associate and I from New York agency, Scott Adamson, we've beaten up the underwriters at the company's pretty good to get you the best prices that were out there. I have to say, though, I'm a little disappointed that the news cameras are leaving now, because this is going to be a pretty exciting thing.
Insurance always is, Mike.
Insurance, I mean, come on.
Okay, Michael.
Anyway, we'll start with the workers' compensation, because my company has handled the workers' comp for the last couple of years. We did go out at the behest of Mr. Sedlak. He had let it be known to me that the volunteer fire companies were not happy with the claims handling of the state fund. And I'd like to just let you all know that you're not alone. Nobody is. Unfortunately, they are the only game in town. They're the only admitted carrier in the state of Pennsylvania to write standalone volunteer fire companies for workers' comp. There is another carrier that I approached, AmeriHealth. They will, if they have the municipality, they will also do the volunteer fire. We went out to them, and they came back. And the long story short is that, to cut to the chase, the Harry premium, the expiring premium for the Harry policy for the workers' comp is $320,000 and change, and the renewal premium from Harry and the state insurance fund is $32,000, over $32,000 less than the AmeriHealth quote. So it's a pretty significant savings. And here's the kicker, and I talked to my boss, who obviously owns my company. Because of the lackluster claim support that the state fund gives the firefighters here in this community, I have an office full of adjusters. If there's a specific claim that you're not having bills aren't getting paid, or whatever issues you have, I've talked to Mr. Little, Mr. Sedlak. You call me, I'm going to put them. They're my pit bulls. I'm going to put them on the state fund on those specific files to bird dog them and hopefully get things rolling for you. That's something that we're going to do for you free of charge. Also, that is not reflected in the pricing. But anyway, $32,000 I think is a pretty good savings. Anyway, with regard to the rest of the lines, this is where we did a lot of fighting. It's not a secret to anybody that there have been some claims in this and lawsuits in this community. We went out to Travelers, Penn Prime, and Glatfelter, and several other carriers for the professional lines that refused to even issue a quote because of the loss history. As a matter of fact, your current carrier, who did provide a renewal number, when we approached them, said they were planning on non-renewing. So we talked them into it. Anyway, they did provide a quote, and if you look at the automobile, you've had a lot of automobile claims too. That one jumped up from, I'm sorry, I don't have my cheaters on. The auto jumped from $81,000 to $104,000. That was the biggest jump that you've seen. There's nothing, that's just the number. There's nothing we can do about that based on the loss history. But because CNA gave us a new renewal, and we were able to beat them down on some of their lines, you're only experiencing an increase, all lines included, of $10,000 for this coming renewal year. I'm telling you, that is a huge victory. If CNA decided to non-renew, we would have to go into excess carriers. You would see double this premium. So I'm very excited to give you these numbers right now. Now, listen, I will stay here and answer as short as you like, or answer all the questions you like. I'll be here as long as you like. That's the nuts and the bolts of it. And like I said, as far as the workers' comp go, we will be on top of the claims for you, even though we do not write the volunteer fire companies. We're here to work with you.
The only problem with the volunteer fireman's insurance was they would turn in a workman's comp claim and it would never get paid. The bills would keep stacking up, and then finally the health providers would start billing them personally because
Right.
they weren't getting paid by the workman's comp company, which I kind of had a hard time understanding because I was injured at work myself and never received a bill ever.
Right.
But
That was back
I
in
don't
the-
know if it
I'm
was
sorry.
this company, or is this company, I mean, I don't know if they're the problem, or.
The state fund is the problem, yeah.
SWIFT.
SWIFT, exactly. The State Workmen's Insurance Fund. They're the only game in town. There are no other admitted carriers in the state of Pennsylvania that write standalone workers' compensation. They have to. They're the market of last resort.
We had a meeting with a couple of the state senators in Wilkins Township, and we told them one of the problems, as much as we appreciated that they passed the law covering firemen that might have had cancer problems due to fighting fire, that was why a lot of the insurance companies bailed out of that.
All of them did, except for
And,
Americans, yeah.
But, so they didn't follow through with part of the law guaranteeing us insurance,
Right.
So, I understand that was the problem, and,
That's where it stems from, yeah.
that's
Right.
where it comes from.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
Any other comment?
No, that's it.
Any other comments for Mike up from council? Any questions?
Mike, could you
Yes, sir.
just clarify one of the things on the spreadsheet?
Sure.
Mrs. Gatus brought this up. Under the workers' comp line, and then we have the two figures then in the center, the optional quotes is 34491 through AmeriHealth.
Correct.
Which includes volunteer fire. So
That's correct.
if that included, it would then the next line item go away? Is that what you're saying?
No, the AmeriHealth quote at 344,941 is for the municipality and the volunteer fire companies. If you go back to the next line on the renewal, you'll see the 288,219.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You add that number to the number right below it, the 33,614, and you get 321,833.
Oh.
So the total premium for the Harry and the state fund is 321,833.
Okay.
As opposed to 344.
That was an alternate quote then?
Correct, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
good. That's
okay.
what I need to understand.
Right.
Any other questions, Nick or Linda?
Mike, I notice in here that there, for example, with the auto, the reason for the renewal being increased is due to vehicles and claims.
Correct.
And then we moved on to public officials. The increase is due to open reserve claims.
Yes, yes. The way, in a nutshell, the way that pricing is done for the public officials, and any line, not just public officials, when there is a claim and a lawsuit is filed, the insurance company sets up a reserve based on their underwriting, based what they think they're going to end up paying out. If they post $500,000, that is $500,000 that goes against the municipality. And that's not just Monroe, that's everywhere. That's across the board. They take reserves into account, even if the case gets settled for $50,000, then the reserve comes down, and then hopefully then next year your premiums come down. But that's the way it works. That's the way the industry works, and that's not unique to Monroeville. That's across the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, any other questions, council members?
Just for the benefit of the public, so the public understands how much the municipality pays in insurance. This is workers' comp insurance, property and liability, excess umbrella, auto, public officials liability. Last year, we paid $577,660. This year is $588,379. That's only an increase of about $10,500, which is pretty good. Municipalities go through different waves of ebbs and flows of claims, auto, public officials liability, lawsuits. We've had a few claims over the last couple of years, and the next 3 years, who knows, we may not have a lot. So that's just for the benefit of the public, to give you a little bit of a flavor of how much we pay in premiums. That's not even counting health benefits. This is just counting liability and auto and workers' comp.
And the other thing, too, as far as the losses are concerned, once they're settled and paid, they only stay on your books for 3 years. After that, you'll see experience bonds comes down and premiums come down, too, so.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, thank you, Mary.
Thanks,
And guys, thank you so much for your support, and Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank you.
Christmas. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,